this is what we're going to get into, a little bit different. So Brand typically talks a lot about real estate investing, some of the strategies, some of the mindset piece. What we had talked about is how many real estate agents do we have in here? Okay, a handful. Good. And then investors. Yeah. Okay. So I'll be able to provide some help and support for you in both, because agent outreach is in both sides of our worlds as an investor and an agent. And I want to speak specifically to that. If you're a real estate agent, you are getting these communications every day. Okay. And I'm going to kind of help break down why you need to stop ignoring these communications that are coming to you, because a lot of agents will say, this is really annoying. Why are these people texting me, calling me, emailing me all the time? And the reason is that they are looking for deals, but guess what? They have deals for you as well. So I'm going to talk to you about how to go through and do that. So I just pulled up some examples. Anybody got an email like this recently from my guy here? Yeah, Eric. If you can go through and see, even if your deal went up in smoke, we can help. If you've got a distressed property that needs to be elevated, we can close in 2 weeks or less. All right, does anybody got these emails? All right. Or what about these text messages? Hey, Ben, it's Justin. I'm an investor. Tried giving you a call, but it went straight to voicemail. I'm actively buying. Wanted to see if we could set up a call. If you've got anything that would be a good fit, send it over. Whatever works. Anybody get those text messages? What about this one? Hey, Ben, I'm looking to buy homes. You know, this guy's looking in Austin, but do you have any off-market deals, listings that need an as-is offer? You guys get those? Like all the time, right? So what this is, this model and method of marketing is called agent outreach. Okay. Agent outreach is when investors, wholesalers, buyers, acquisitions companies are proactively reaching out to real estate agents. Okay. They're looking for deals, leads, and relationships. It's not random noise. Okay. This is demand that is actively reaching out to you for a number of reasons. Okay. Because they are looking for off-market deals. A lot of real estate agents have deals that they do not. So what is agent outreach? Like I said, they're looking for off-market deals. They're looking for distressed sellers, pocket listings. They're looking for leads, because the thing that I don't really understand, and if you're an investor or if you're an agent, some agents have an idea that they want to keep up their brand or image. They only want to represent certain types of properties. Okay. Like they want to only do this one specific segment where it may be geographically, it may be, you know, luxury or this, and they don't want to deal with some of the kind of more distressed situations. So that is why this happens. Okay. They're reaching out to real estate agents, because who are real estate agents in relationship with? The seller, the homeowner, right? So ultimately that is what these investors are marketing to, and they're marketing for. They're marketing to get access to the relationships that you have with the homeowner, with the seller. Right? The crazy thing that happens is that, and I'll share why they're doing that, because it's incredibly profitable. And the reality is agents don't understand or value that. But what it means for you as a real estate agent or an investor agent, this means this outreach is something that can be converted to you. It's demand that's already coming to you. The only question is whether you're ready to receive it or not. Okay. So like I said, why is this happening? They're reaching out to you because you have relationships with homeowners. You've got the direct trust. So why does this happen? So agents have the relationships to the homeowners. They have the seller's trust and influence, because many times the agents are the first line that people will think of. Everybody knows a real estate agent. Okay. So they will be the ones that many times will get the call. Hey, we've got this situation going on. We need the help. Okay. Agents also have access to the MLS. They've got local market knowledge, and they've got the community presence. So what investors are trying to do, they're trying to leverage all of those things. Those are all things that investors need, but the most important is the relationships. So the reality is investors traditionally spend thousands of dollars per month on marketing to find what agents already have and what we have access to. Okay. The first two investment companies that I worked with, the first company specialized in direct marketing. They did everything mail. So they sent everything, their direct marketing method was through mail. And that they spent up to $30,000 a month on mail. Like we ramped up from a startup to 30 grand a month. The second wholesaling company I worked with, they spent over $50,000 marketing on pay-per-click and SEO marketing. Like a ton of, that's a significant amount of capital, right? That they invest. So all of that being said, the goal is to get in relationship with the homeowner And what's happening is agents already have those relationships. So that is why we are all getting reached out to, because they're trying to monetize that. So this is the reality. This is why they're reaching out to agents. It's because agents are the cheapest source of real estate investment marketing. So if you're an investor looking to get started, what you should be doing to start is not spend $20,000, $30,000 on direct marketing to a homeowner. The best, most effective way for you to get leads right now is to build a network of agents that know who you are and they reach out to you when they have a deal. Okay? That is the most effective way that investors that I know are building their investment business right now, and or they've got this as their primary funnel in marketing for their investment business. So why are they the cheapest? They're the cheapest because real estate agents do not understand the value of the people that we know and the clients that we serve. Okay? Because this is the reality. They think that accepting a small fee for a referral or a commission is worth more than serving the relationship that they have. Does that make sense? Okay. So they're giving away the business. One, they'll refer it away. So they'll refer, oh yeah, if you want to give me X amount, or if you want to pay, we'll pay you commission, full commission, or we'll pay you double commission. We'll pay you both sides. Some agents think that's a great deal, right? Hey, I'm going to refer this. I'll get paid 6%. Maybe there'll be an opportunity for the hope of future business. They'll give away value today for something they may get tomorrow. And the main thing is they just don't have confidence in how to serve the client. Okay. They don't know how to address somebody that's in a distressed situation. And it's not about you as the agent knowing the solution. It's knowing who you can partner with that can become the solution. And that's what I'll talk a little bit about, because a majority of real estate agents do not have investment knowledge. They don't understand the landscape of real estate investing. They don't know what it is. And more importantly, they don't know how to be of service and solution. So what ends up happening is that these real estate agents, they refer away tens of thousands of dollars of opportunity that they have available to them in their relationships, and they will move it to an investor. Because I've got a number of guys, they do all direct cold calling teams, text messaging. Now all they do is agent outreach. And guess what? They're still getting, if not the same or more deal flow for a fraction of the price, a very small price. It's really, guess what their main marketing fee is? Like their main expense for investors that are doing outreach. What's up? No, like their tool, like your expense. If you want to start agent outreach, yeah. It's whatever platform they're using to communicate to agents. So if it's constant contact, it's a couple $100s a month that they're spending. And they just send out an email a couple times a week or a couple times a month. That's it. Instead of spending tens of thousands of dollars, they're just investing into their email marketing campaign.
So many people
yeah. So that's the deal. So the reality is when you get this marketing, so one, if you're an investor, I would encourage you to dive into agent outreach, because there's a lot of agents out there that will freely give their leads and referrals to you for people that are in distress. So if they've got, and when we talk about distress, so this is financial distress, foreclosure, pre-foreclosure, death, divorce, job loss, forced relocation, unintended inherited properties. Like, there's a lot of people that have situations come up in their life, and then they just don't know how to the agent doesn't know how to address that. So they'll just say, hey, I'm just going to get you connected with this guy. He can help you out. And in doing so, I think getting paid $5,000 is worth not the opportunity to make 50. Because that's what's happening. They're referring deal to an investor, and while the agent may get paid $5,000, the investor will make 50, even as a wholesale, right? So that's what's happening. That's why it's the cheapest. So who's reaching out? The important thing, and this is what we'll get into a little bit, it's not all of the outreach is equal. And so you've got to have some discernment in and around who are these people that are actively reaching out to you. Because even as an agent, you'll think, oh my God, all these investors are reaching out to you. The reality is, yes, they're investors, but they're not investors as in the people that are actually the ones that are buying and selling and flipping. Okay. So what I'll call true investors, these are people that are actually the end buyers. These are the people that are actually going out and acquiring the properties directly. So they're the true investors. Then you can also get into, same thing would be for the fix and flip, buy and holds. But a majority of what you'll find, the people that are doing the agent outreach, no problem. So a majority of the people that are reaching out, they are wholesalers and acquisition teams or acquisition companies, okay? And what I mean by that is like a lot of this communication that you've got is coming from wholesalers. So like some of the investors that I know, this is their marketing. All they're looking to do is get access to a homeowner that you have a relationship with that's in distress. They're going to meet, provide a solution to that homeowner, put the property under contract, and then they're going to sell it to the investor. So they're a wholesaler. The value they're providing is confidence that they can provide a solution to that homeowner's situation. And all they're doing is closing that gap, putting the property under contract, and then they're selling that contract to or signing it to the end ultimate investor. The other one that comes up all the time, and there's two companies specifically here in Houston. They're also nationwide. What they're called acquisition teams, or what I call deal aggregators. Okay, they are also not investors. So in the two companies that you'll see, one of them was the guy on the email up front. They are like New Western and Net Worth. These are companies. Yes, they're real estate investment companies, but I call them deal aggregators. Okay, all they're doing is casting a very wide net. And they do a lot of agent outreach. They're also the same people that you'll see a lot of bandit signs like, hey, we've got investment properties for sale on the side of the road. They go out and they'll recruit people and real estate agents to join their company to go out and find buyers and sellers, to find deals. So they bring all these people in and they've got a giant network back end of investor buyers. Okay. So they're able to go through and they cast this big net. If you know of these companies, if you hear of them, I refer them to as the boiler room of real estate investing. Okay. And do you guys know what I'm talking about? Have you guys seen the movie? Like Boiler Room? It's a big sales movie. Okay. So it's very hardcore. These companies, most associates and people that you talk to will only work at these companies, New Western Net Worth, for a couple of years. And then they'll either get burned out, they'll roll out of the business, or they'll roll into another wholesaling operation, another part of the real estate investing game. It's a great ecosystem, go in and learn. But anyway, that is the acquisition team, or what I call these deal aggregators. So does that make sense? Like they're what a lot of the email marketing that you're getting. If you go to their signature, if you go to the bottom, you can see in their email address, or if you click, because they're also licensed agents, they work with either one of those two companies, Net Worth or New Western. So yeah, Net Worth Realty or New Western. So those are the two big, and they're very active and they provide a solution, they provide a service, but they're really just moving a deal through their system. So they'll acquire the deal and then they'll turn around and all they do, they just remarket that deal back out to their network. That's it. They'll say, hey, we're going to buy it, but they're not really buying it. They're bringing it in. They're assigning it and they're finding an end buyer for it. So they're not the true end buyer investors. Those are also not investors inside of the investor agent game plan that I speak to that you want to spend time working with, because they're just moving the deals. So does that make sense? So this is the first question. So when you get any of this agent outreach, you get this communication, whether it's by email, by text, this is the one question you want to ask. Okay. And this just defines the entire conversation. It's, hey, thank you for reaching out. Do you have a dedicated investor agent that you are working with? Okay. That is the one question that you want to ask or respond to any of those text messages or emails that are coming to you. Hey, thanks for reaching out. Do you have a dedicated investor agent that you're working with? Because that one question will tell you a lot of things based on how they respond. Okay. And responding to that, if they actually respond to it, they'll be like, well, what is that? Or they'll say, yes, we've got an agent that we work with. Okay, well, do they have a background in investing, or do they understand the investing side? Because there's a couple of different ways that you can take the script. But one, a lot of times they won't even respond to that marketing because they'll be like, that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for, yes, I've got a deal, But I want to know, are they working with somebody, a dedicated investor agent, somebody that is invested in helping them find a deal and they know what they're doing? Okay. So, and the reason why we do that is it positions you as a professional and not a lead source. It reveals to you as the investor agent if they're actually a buyer and they're qualified, right? Where you can get into a conversation with them, because it does open an opportunity. If they are the true investor that I mentioned, you can start working with them, because there are independent investors, there are buy and hold investors, there are wholesalers that are buying, and they don't have a dedicated agent that they're working with in their business. So you can become a big value asset to them because you understand real estate investing, and it just gives you more definition and control of the conversation that we're having with them, because there's a lot of value that you can get out of this outreach that's coming to you as an agent in a number of different ways. Okay, because they have deals, they have leads for you, and they have opportunities. So that is the one question. So you can keep that in as a copy and paste. Like I've got a template in my text where I just say, hey, it happens all the time. I just say, hey, thanks for reaching out. Do you have a dedicated investor agent? And then depending upon how they respond, that's the direction that you go. So why does this work? Because most investors will say they don't. And they either don't understand the value of an investor agent, they've never heard of what this thing of an investor agent is. So that's where we get into a conversation with them about what an investor agent is. Like what we talk about and what you're starting to hear more. An investor agent is someone who knows, understands real estate investing and specializes in working with real estate investors. Okay. This is not the agent that they probably already know and have a relationship with. Does that make sense? Like everybody knows a real estate agent. Nobody knows an investor agent. They just don't. A specialist, someone that knows and understands real estate investing, they can work with them through their entire cycle of their business, help them acquire deals and sell the deals. Okay. Because a lot of real estate investors, they'll just use an agent, just to sell their flip homes or just sell their retail deals. We as investor agents do a lot more of that. We can help them on the acquisition all the way through the disposition side. And we know there's a lot of value that we bring to investors. So what that means is there's an opportunity to have a conversation with them about that. Typically, if they say no, but they're open, that's where you transition out of that communication, text, email, onto a phone call. And then you'll take them through your qualification process of, hey, well, what are you looking for? What are your goals? Here's how I can help you get there. Okay. So the other thing that wholesalers or these guys that are just doing agent outreach, they'll just redirect. They're like, no, we're good. We've got somebody on our team. They're not looking for that. They're just looking for the leads. They're just looking for the deal. That's not how we will engage with them, but I'll share with you a little bit how we can work with the wholesalers. So does that make sense? Because the important thing for you with this outreach, you want to qualify through if they're a real investor or if they're one of these aggregators, they're just marketing for your leads, for your relationships. Okay. So this is what I mean by the dedicated investor agent. So yes, we do traditional retail real estate listings, buyers, sellers, contracts, all of that. But what we specialize in providing value in, we understand how to run the analysis. We know how to do estimates on rehab. We understand, cash flow, talking through the numbers, deal sourcing, and then the exit strategies. Like we've got a holistic understanding of what the terminology is, more importantly, what the concepts are and what it means for their business. And we're also connected in community with other people. Even if you're a new investor agent, you've got access to people that know in the community that can help you through and with this. And that's what we do with our investor agent Wolfpack community that we've got. So we help with the deal acquisition, analysis, support, strategic negotiations. We've got referrals to vendors, and we know how to help investors grow in their business. So that's the importance of that. So if they are, it's kind of how you go through, and I can get the resources and, kind of some of the fuller scripts. But the understanding is, hey, most investors have never worked with a true investor agent. I help investors source deals, analyze opportunities, strategically negotiate and grow the right relationships. And we help our investors achieve their goals. Like part of the goal of being an investor agent, we help other people get what they want so we can get what we want, right? So the goal of real estate investing, people to create wealth, create financial freedom, It's why many of us get into it. And in doing so as an investor agent, we get to help do that. In turn, we get to achieve that at the same time. Okay. So once you have that conversation, we go through, help them qualify what it is, they're looking for, where they're going. And then we can also get into the buying criteria of what they want. So the actual understanding of, hey, if they are a real buyer, then you'll take them through the framework of, here's how I can help you source deals. Like, let me know what it is you're looking for, where, make sure they're qualified. They've got their funding resources, whether it's cash on hand, hard money, private lending, what their business looks like. And we get to holistically help and support them in that. So that's the important part. That's how we draw the bridge, because many investors out there, they've never worked with an investor agent like you have the opportunity to become in this capacity. So does that make sense? All right. So if they're a wholesaler, this is the main question that you want to get to. And there's a number of ways that we take this. Okay. So if they say no, they're not interested in, they don't have an agent, they've already got somebody. The important thing that we just call out is that you call out the marketing strategy for what it is. So you just say, hey, look, got it. Sounds like you're doing agent outreach. When we name their marketing strategy, that instantly lets them know, I know what they're doing. I know their marketing strategy. Like, I understand. I'm an investor. I'm an investor agent. Like, I understand the channel that they're marketing in. I understand why they're doing it. So I say, hey, look, it sounds like you're doing investor outreach to source your opportunities. Like, I understand what you're doing. Let me ask you a question. Are you actively marketing? Are you actively homeowners? Okay, that's what I want to understand, because there's value in the answer to that question. If agent outreach is all that they're doing, I'll just say, hey, especially with our team and community, I'll just say, hey, have you ever thought about getting your real estate license? Okay, because there's an opportunity for them to get licensed. Then with what we do with our team and community, we can help support them in that. But if they are actively marketing directly to homeowners in addition to their agent outreach, oh, okay, well, what are you doing? Are you guys doing online? Are you doing pay-per-click, SEO, direct mail? Are you cold calling? Are you texting? Do you have VAs that are calling or using AI callers? Like, what are the other channels that they're doing? Because if they're a wholesaler and they're marketing direct, this is the opportunity that we get, that we leverage as the sell side of the investor agent game plan that we've got inside of our investor agent Wolfpack community. The investor agent game plan is set up to do more deals working with less people and working with real estate investors to work all of their retail leads. Okay. So this is where this feeds in. If there's a wholesaler that is doing direct marketing, this is the opportunity. We hop into a conversation with them, leveraging the sell side of the investor agent game plan, because many times these wholesalers are not responding or working with the retail leads that are coming into their investment business. Okay. So I'm not going to go too far into it, but real estate investors market to every homeowner every day. Who owns their home? Owns a home, property. Have you received a phone call, text message, email, piece of mail, postcard, letter asking you to what? You want to sell your house. You want to sell your house for cash, right? Are you looking for an offer? Sell your house fast. They're marketing to every homeowner every day across this entire country. Real estate investors are. So based on my experience, if you remember back to the beginning, I met with thousands of homeowners. I only worked with a couple hundred. So even if you just work those numbers, over 80% of the response marketing that comes to a real estate investment company is not used by that investment company, because they're only looking for the distressed seller or the urgent seller that they can address to meet the need. So if you're an investor in here doing your own marketing, we've got an opportunity to help partner with you to work all of those retail leads that they're throwing away. Because 80% of the people that are responding to that investor marketing, there's homeowners wanting information about their house. If you're a real estate agent, do you want to talk to a homeowner that wants information about their house? Like live? Like, hey, how much is my house worth? I'm thinking about selling. Let me know. Like, there's no urgency or motivation in those calls for the investment company to work. But for a real estate agent, we want those all day. Somebody live that I can provide value to, that they're interested in selling their home, you want those. So the reality is 80% of the marketing that comes into these investment companies, they're not using because they're traditional sellers. Their best solution is going to be for you, an experienced agent, to list their home and put it on the market so you can have a listing and provide the consultation and build the relationship. Because even if they're not interested in selling now, we want to build the relationship and feed into it if and when they are ready to sell next year. That's what the real estate business is, relationship over time. We want to be the go-to person. So we've got an opportunity to partner with those investment companies to work those leads. And we go into that way more inside the investor agent game plan. So if they're not marketing, this is what I got into. I kind of jumped ahead to this, but if I was to start all over again, if I was able to go back 10 years ago to when I got into real estate, I would have got licensed. And if you're a real estate investor, if you want to invest in real estate, I would encourage you to get your real estate license. Foundationally, it gives you good knowledge of, the rules, regulations, everything in and around of dealing with real estate. If you're going to be investing and buying real estate for life, get your real estate license. The beauty of getting your real estate license is you get it once and you have it for life as long as you maintain it. Okay? You just invest time and money up front one time, and then you just maintain it forever. Okay? Because you get your real estate license does not mean you have to become an Instagram realtor. A lot of people think that. They're like, I don't want to get my license. I don't want to show houses. I don't want to do open houses. I don't want to be on Instagram. I don't want to do all that social. You don't have to. Because just like Brand and a lot of people that invest in real estate, I just do what the successful people have done that I know that are in this business. A majority of the people that I know that have created wealth and success in real estate investing, they've got their real estate license. Okay. They either get it up front or they get it somewhere along the journey. Chris Bounds, Brant Phillips, a lot of the legends that are in the real estate investing community here in Houston, just ask them, do you have your real estate license? They do, or somebody in their immediate proximity in their company or their significant other is licensed. So that's the question that I ask. The longer term opportunity, one for them, is that one of the biggest benefits is that if you're looking to make money by wholesaling, just like I was, having your real estate license allows you to serve everybody that you speak with, not just the distressed, not the one out of 1,000. You get to work with any homeowner that's breathing that you build a relationship with, right? Which means you can make money, because the thing with the wholesalers is that most wholesale fees are between $5,000 and $10,000. You can sell a $300,000 home and make 10 grand. And it's a lot simpler. It is. And so that's just kind of the conversation. If you want to have that conversation, we also have the unique thing with our investor agent Wolfpack community where you get to partner with them, and there's a lot of value that we bring to licensed investors and wholesalers like this. So that's why that's really important and how we leverage that as well. Okay. So on the buy side opportunity, this is where the power of the investor agent game plan really comes in. Because if you're going to build your real estate business, if you're a licensed agent and you want to work with investors, the best buyers to work with are investor buyers. They're buying all the time. They're buying as many properties as they want, and it's relationship driven. Okay. And so what that looks like is, we're going to work with 1, 2, 3, or 4 investor buyers that are buying multiple properties a year. That's how you can build a business that is on repeat. You start building a business like Jose has built with his, where now you've got a handful of investors that are buying in a cadence where you're doing 2, 3, 4, 5 deals a month. You've got a network of 5, 10, 15 investors that are constantly buying. You're not having to go out transactionally work with individual homeowners. We're working with 5 people that are going to do 5 deals each this year. Does that make sense? That's the value and the leverage. So we get into that, repeat closings, off-market deals. So we source deals for them on and off market. And then you really want to work with people that are serious and they're actively buying. So this agent outreach, there are serious buyers that are reaching out to you. You just have to go through and qualify them, identify them, because there are a lot of the aggregators. There's a lot of wholesalers, but there are smart investors that are doing agent outreach, and that they could be an incredible key for you that can open up success for you in your business. So like I said, the sell side opportunity, I kind of dove into this a little bit as well, but there's also another way to partner with these investment opportunities to leverage their retail leads that doesn't fit their investor buy box, where we can go through retail listings. A lot of the leads that come into investment companies, they do have some distress. Like divorce is one that comes up all the time, where it is a distress. Like divorce is a distress that investors work with, but many times that can be taken care of through a retail sale. It does not have the stress or the urgency to move it through the investment side. So I do see divorce sales come up. Probate is an area. Some investors will address that, but some probate needs to move through. The court will dictate that it needs to be sold by a licensed real estate agent. So it's got to move that way. So there's also a way that you can position yourself for pre-foreclosures as well. Because if there is enough time, we can get a property listed and get it sold that way. So all I'm trying to say, there's a lot of opportunity to serve the homeowner in partnership with the investor that is doing marketing and working directly with the homeowner. So it's very important. It's not a lead that you throw away. Okay. So this is just kind of the model to go through and respond. You're going to receive these all the time. Just respond to them. Because if you respond, you're going to pop up in their system and you can engage with them, and then you can qualify yourself in or out. But guess what? It's going to keep coming if you don't respond to it at all. So it's helpful to do that. You want to go through and qualify. So just ask the question, hey, do you work with a dedicated investor agent? Okay. And then you want to go through and categorize them. Hey, is this a true investor? Is this a wholesaler? Is this an aggregator? Like, where are they in the spectrum? Then if they are able to qualify them as an investor buyer, that's where you take them on. And then you do want to track and record these, whether it's in your phone, in a CRM. But this daily system, because this outreach is going to come to you nonstop. And so these are people that are marketing to you that, can be a key to your success in your business. So this is a big thing. Just don't ignore the outreach. Don't think it's just noise. Don't think this is just annoying that these people are calling. Answer the phone call, respond to the text message, send the email, and then, go through. They're not qualifying. In a lot of agents, it doesn't take a lot to get up to speed on what real estate investing is, to get equipped enough in and around how you can position yourself and provide a solution to your homeowners in need. That's the biggest issue that's happening right now, is that agents that are referring, it's not good, bad, or indifferent, but agents that are referring their clients to the investors is fine. It's just they're missing out the opportunity to serve people at a time when people that that you already have trust with, that you're not providing them the service that you could. And a lot of the things that happen with a lot of the real estate agents, if you are looking to modify your business in one way, I would just start opening up your communication to your community, whether it's through social media, weekly emails. Just say, hey, look, I'm here for you, good, bad, and indifferent. In the hard times and in the good times, not just when the home is perfect and ready to sell. I can also help you or your neighbor or somebody that you may know if they are going through the tough stuff. If they are going through job loss or foreclosure or any of those distresses, you just want to position yourself as an agent that they can go to and know that they'll be taken care of, whatever the situation is. And so that's where you want to open up that conversation for that. Okay. And it doesn't take a lot to get equipped, and that's the power of the community that we have as well. Hey, you can take that situation, you can ask somebody that has the experience like myself, and we can say, hey, yeah, we can do that. And here's what you can do. So you can become the solution for them. See, yeah. And then some deals referring too fast, but yeah, you're just giving away the opportunity. And most importantly, you're just undervaluing the relationship, because some of these, like my buddy, his agent outreach, 4 to 6 deals a month. On average, he's making like $18,000 a deal. And this is all coming straight there. So this is just kind of to wrap it up. You don't have a lead problem. People are reaching out to you that I think is an annoyance as an agent, but in reality, they can become the best partners in your business. They can help you do more deals, drive more transactions, or they can get you the leads that you need to grow in your business. So my challenge to you is, it starts now. You guys have the text messages that are hitting you today. Just run through the process, respond to it, ask the question, qualify and categorize, and then build the relationship, build the network with them. Because the last thing actually that I'm thinking about, so if there is a wholesaler that you respond to, they're just marketing for leads, they're not interested in getting licensed, and really this is the most important, ask to get on their buyer's list. You want to be on every investment. Hey, if they're out marketing for properties, we want to be, hey, you want to establish yourself as, hey, I've got a buyer. I am your buyer. So with all the marketing that you're doing, send me your deal. This is what I'm looking for. Okay. So there's no wasted communication in this. Okay. So that's why, and I actually need to put that in, but it's they have the deal as well. So they've got your deals, either for yourself or for your buyers. So don't throw away that communication on this agent outreach. Build that network and just turn that income into that outreach into opportunities. So make sense? So also, if you're a real estate agent, you're not part of our investor agent team and community, you want to learn more, this is all part and feeds into our investor agent game plan, which is what we've developed as a community. And there's a lot of people that are creating a lot of success building their business, working with real estate investors to do more deals and get all of your listing leads by working with investors. So if you want to do that, you can text me here. It's my phone number, Game Plan, and I'd be happy to share some information with that about you. But that is what we've got. So you don't have a lead problem, just know your value, how you can position and turn that. So with that being said, make sure to join us for the Private Lender Playbook with Brant. That's coming up at the end of April, and we're super excited for that. And if you want to learn more about Brant, the breakthrough in our community, Brant does have some opportunities to go deeper through his Wealth Passage program. And if you're an agent looking to learn more about our investor agent community, you can hit that QR code as well.